Welcome. Well, you are at home with Jim and Joy, and you are an important part of our EWTN family, and we want to hear from you. So just send us an email, jimandjoy@ewtn.com. Well, a blessed Memorial Day to you all. And we pray for all those men and women who have lost their lives in defending our beautiful country and faith and freedom.
Yeah.
In all the wars.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the word remember, R-E-member. And Memorial Day is a time with all of our loved ones, your loved ones, that have died in battle, wherever they may have been, to remember them, kind of their members come back. Our nation stops, and they're nearer to us on this special day. So thank you to the families that have sacrificed so very, very much. Thank you to those that have given their lives, and we pray that in the midst of hardship and sorrow, that you'd have a beautiful and a blessed day if you're gathering together as a family, eating some special things there, saying a mass. This is a time to remember those who've given their lives, who have been so courageous in this way. We're all united together at this time, and we pray for peace in America and peace for the nations of the earth, that there would be war no more.
And today our guest will be Mike McDowd, who's a sportscaster, a pro-life advocate, a motivational speaker, and he underwent a profound near-death experience. And he's here today to tell his beautiful story and all the things that God has done to him, through him, and for him. And we met him at a pro-life march on the Walk for Life out in San Francisco.
Yeah. So he's from the San Francisco Bay Area, and boy, the Catholic community there is very, very strong, growing ever stronger. Archbishop Corleone is there, and that's not an easy place to be Christian, to be Catholic, but there really is a renewal going on in that Bay Area. So Mike's going to be sharing with us. But Joy, I wanted to mention just as you know, we think about what we share on the opening segment, and just several days back, you know, I'm a daily wogger. That's jogging and walking. I used to be just a jogger, but now, for various reasons, I wog. But I get it done, and that happens about 6 days out of the week that I'm walking and jogging. And there, on my 2-mile loop, which I'll do once or maybe 3 or 4 times, one of the women came out of the house, and she was an older woman, and there was another older woman, you know, a block or 2 away, and this woman came out and said, "Can you get her? Can you get her?" And so there was this, and our community is about 98% African American, and we've chosen to live in that community to work for racial reconciliation. So this was an African American people, and it's always a blessing to be among them. But so I'm sweaty, and now this lady's, and she's dressed so nicely. You know, she's got on a jacket. It was pretty cool that day. A jacket, hat. She has a little scarf on. She had a purse under here, and she's walking like in these little steps, shuffling along. So I said, well, you know, what's her name? Rosemary's her name. So you know, I jog up to her, say, "Hey, Rosemary, how you doing?" I said, you know, "Where you going?" And whatever. She goes, "I got to go to work." You know, she was, you know, suffering with some degree of dementia. You know, I've got to go to work, and I've got to get there. I said, "Well, you know, you're walking here on the road, and you know, this lady's calling you here, and she wants you to." She goes, "Well, I don't know who she is. You know, I don't know who she is, but this lady who's old herself is calling her to come back." So I said, "Well, you know, it can get dangerous out here. It looks like it's going to rain." So she said, "Well, if I could just make it to the highway," she said, "I get picked up right away." So she must have done this before. They picked me up right away. And I'm like, "Well, you know, I'm not sure you want to do that." I said, "You know, please turn around." She said, "I don't want to go back." I'm saying, "What are we going to do?" So I'm saying to the lady, "Come on, let's get her," you know. And she was just such a beautiful woman, you know, beautiful face and eyes, but yet, you know, not dealing with reality. She's aging. So I turn around a little bit and start walking her back, and we walk and we're talking a little bit, and she gets up to the other lady, and she's a little resistant with her, you know, "Let's go back into the house." And, you know, we're just kind of looking at one another, and I'm holding her hand, and she took my hand and went right up to her lips and looked in my eyes, and she said, "God bless you." You know, I mean, I was just like really, what a beautiful encounter to have this from anyone. And I thought, you know, maybe I was helping someone. I mean, she helped me so much. And the racial reconciliation element in it was just really, really beautiful. So I just wanted to share that. You never know when you're going to be called upon, but sometimes you think you're doing something for somebody else, and they turn around and just bless your life so dramatically. Mike McDowd is here, sportscaster, pro-life advocate, motivational speaker. He's worked in so many realms of the media in terms of sports and weather and news stories and fun things that he's done. But he's really suffered a lot in his own personal life. And he has some profound things to share, great amounts of loss in his life, but how God has brought him through and has worked everything together for good for those who love God and who are fitting into his plan. You're going to be encouraged today. Please don't go away. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. You know, you are an important part of our family. You hear me say that often, and I mean it. And we want to hear from you. So if you have a question for today's guest, Mike McDowd, you can send us an email, jimandjoy@EWTN.com, and hopefully we will use your very wise question or your comment right here on the air. Well, Mike McDowd comes all the way from California. He's a sportscaster, a pro-life advocate, a motivational speaker, and he underwent a very profound near-death experience, which he will tell us in a little while.
Other than that, he has a very boring life.
Yes, but he's a sportscaster, and he's done many interviews. He was the weatherman, he was the traffic man, he was the fun man in the media, and he just did lots of wonderful things. And so he's going to tell his story so that you too will fall in love with him. Well, Mike, welcome to At Home with Jim and Joy.
Fall in love, what a great thing.
Yeah, I mean, we love you, we think you're great and wonderful, and that's why you're here, so it's good.
Thank you so much. It's you know, the word honor comes to mind. It's such a, I met you guys back in San Francisco at Walk for Life, and you were so gracious to me, and a couple of years later, here I am on your show, man.
There you go.
The pinnacle.
As good God would have it.
Well, welcome to EWTN. You're at home, and you are a part of this EWTN family, so we are blessed to have you here.
Thank you, Jim.
Well, share a little bit with us, you know, in terms of, I see this time of sharing kind of like in a number of parts, but your story is really dramatic in terms of your own life and family members and things. And it's a victorious story in the midst of a tragedy. And I want to get to all of that, but not right at the beginning because I can't see moving any place else from that. But share with us a little bit just about, you know, how you went into this whole media field and broadcasting and you know, the different aspects you've been involved with, continue to be involved with, and just kind of unpack that for us, the journey in that area. Yeah,
I mean, I could go on forever and ever, but I think it started back in high school. I was the PA announcer. I tried to be on the basketball team and I got hurt. Well, guess what? They needed a PA guy.
Right.
So I became the public address announcer. And that's how it kind of all started. My father, his name was Pat McDowd. He was also in the broadcast business. So his influence, he was on the advertising sales side of things.
Okay.
So when you're around that business, and I was around big broadcasters at a station called KGO Radio in San Francisco, which was really one of the great stations in America. And so when you're growing up around that, you get influence. And, you know, Jimmy, you may remember the great play-by-play guy, Vince Scully, a good Catholic.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know, I was doing impersonations of him as a kid. And so it kind of started that way, and that kind of led me on my journey, and I kind of finagled my first job. You know, I really didn't have a background for it. I said, hey, I'm gonna do this. My dad knew somebody with the Dodgers radio network in Prescott, Arizona. And they said, send me a tape. So I sent the tape, and voila, somehow, some way, I got my first job. And let me say, I was a news anchor on the radio.
Wow. Yeah.
And I got to tell you guys, I was bad. I mean, really bad. Bumbling and stumbling, and I didn't last long there. And that's kind of the par for the course in the business. It's a very arduous journey. You get hired and you get fired. You know, I went from there, and then I went to Prescott, Arizona, to Santa Maria, California, which is the Central Coast. about a year there, then to Yuba
But you had
City.
Our Lady praying for you there.
Oh, absolutely,
Santa Maria.
absolutely, absolutely. And then, you know, you struggle, try to get another job, and I landed in a town called Yuba City, California, outside of Sacramento. Now, Yuba City was rated the worst city in America to live in, crime-wise, education, poverty. So my career could go but one place, and that's up. So I was there for a few months. I went to Reno, Nevada for a year, and then landed in San Francisco and worked for CBS Radio in San Francisco as a traffic anchor, and then was there for a little while, and then I jumped into television. And that's where everything kind of took off for me. And I started out as the morning TV weather guy.
Okay.
And they would send me out in the field. I would do all the fun stuff too. You know, I think there was a Jim Carrey movie, something along those lines, where there's a kind of similar parallels. But I did that and got to meet a lot of fascinating people, interesting people. Then they stuck me out and made me a permanent feature reporter. And I did, you know, I interviewed everybody, kids, politicians, celebrity chef Guy Fieri, you know, famous sports stars, the Oakland Raiders, I mean, the 49ers, Joe Montana, all these kind of guys and gals, and it was really a blessing, but very difficult job, I got to tell you.
But you got to do some of that like in a minute, 2 minutes, or whatever, fast? Or?
Oh, on the feet, I had to produce everything. I had to come up with a topic 5 days a week, and you guys might think, oh, that sounds easy.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but it was a blessing. I was in the wine country too, in Sonoma Valley wine country, so a lot of beautiful scenery, and just did some fun stuff. And you know, at times when we had breaking news, I covered breaking news stories, and I dealt with some tragedy. That was tough. You know, it's difficult to meet a parent who has had a daughter that's murdered. And I remember meeting a gal specifically in Stockton, California. And I remember meeting this mother, and she told me her story, and I just gave her a hug. I said, God bless you. And I think that's the way the media has to kind of be. The media is portrayed in such a terrible light, as you both know. You know, we're the bad guys. But I'm a guy who's in the media, but I'm a Catholic first.
Right. And how difficult was it for you to be Catholic in the media when, you know, when you encounter so many different things?
Yeah, the San Francisco Bay Area is a very conservative environment, isn't it?
Very extremely conservative, yes. Especially, oh man, that's a loaded question.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, you know, you have your elements. You certainly, actually other media members, once they know you're a Catholic, they really, I've been attacked a few times, but you know, you just kind of, you have to live your life a different way. You have to have the love of Christ in your life, and I think people finally see that I'm authentic and I'm real, and I'm trying to be authentic and real, and that's really, as a Catholic, that's the only way you can live. And you're right, living in San Francisco, when I first met you, I said, hey, welcome to the belly of the beast, and you started laughing.
But we felt like that when we were there. I mean, it was different. And the forces of hell and darkness that were out there, as we were bringing the great light of Christ to defend the culture of life. I mean, there were forces out there, and it was different.
Yeah, and the more I become Catholic, the more I become aware of that. I mean, being Catholic in the Bay Area is I got to tell you, it's tough. I mean, it's tough everywhere, but I'm not trying to dwell upon it. It is, but there's so many, as you said, there's so many powerful Catholics out there. Oh man, on fire. I think people might be surprised. It's pretty awesome.
Well, it's kind of like if you're going to be Catholic there, you better seriously be a Catholic with a capital C, and you have a lot of backbone and courage, because a lot of the people are in places in the world where they work, where they live, where it's a very hostile environment.
It really is. It really is. And you know, there's some of my priest friends have had tough times. You know, out in public, people, you know, have made comments. Of course, we know about the tragedy of the church, but you know, there's a strong community. We are coming together, and we need to come together, and we need to go out in the world and shed the truth of Christ. And you know, my family and friends, when I talk like this, they often look at me like, well, who's this guy? You know, what's he talking about? You know, they don't understand. But I'm trying to, you know, get out in the world and just say, hey, our Jesus he's beyond the best thing you could ever possibly imagine. Glorious.
Have you met some athletic, you know, figures, sports figures who, in the course of conversation or whatever, start, you know, revealing, hey, you know, I'm a man of faith, or you know, I was walking this way and I'm not now, or do you know of some that are trying to come out? I mean, everybody's come out in another way there in California. Yeah. Are there more sports figures coming out, or how do you connect, or how are they connecting with you?
Well, you know, that's a good question. I've met a few folks. I mean, one comes to mind. I don't know if you remember Chris Mullen, St. John's University. And I remember one time at Christmas time, I was in the Warriors locker room, and he said, "Hey, Mike." And I'm like, oh, you know, like this guy's talking to me. You know, I admit, I was in my 20s. I was pretty intimidated. I didn't really have these kind of conversations. He said, "Hey, you're with, you know, ABC Radio KGO." I said, "Yeah." And we started talking, and he went, you know, he went to St. John's, and I said, "Yeah." And we essentially talked about our faith in not such a profound way, but the little ways. And we acknowledged each other. Yeah, no, we're both Irish Catholic. And it was kind of neat to finally get that. There was another guy who played for the Oakland Raiders by the name of Napoleon Kaufman. He's a evangelical minister now. But just to talk about God is, you know, the ability to talk about faith with an athlete is just, it's fantastic. And I think that's one of the things about why my journey is changing. I'm much more into God than I am into sports. I mean, sports really is not that profound.
It's limited.
It's not that. I mean, these athletes, if you have the ability to connect with them, it's awesome. But often you're just talking meat and potatoes, and that's quite frankly boring. And I know other people in the sports business. We have these same conversations. They actually want to get out. It's sports is become a religion in America, and I think that's terrible. It's tragic. I mean, let's face it. Some people would rather go to a football game on Sunday than go to mass, or Christians and.
Or not even go to a game, stay home and watch a game.
You got it. Yeah.
And not go to church.
That's exactly. Oh boy.
Now, just list off for me a number of the teams, you know, in your area, California teams, basketball, football, and then do they have chaplains? Name the teams in that area as well.
Sure. Well, baseball, we've got, of course, they're not the world champions now, but my San Francisco Giants. Yeah. And then we got the Oakland A's. The Giants do have a chaplain. My 49ers, chaplain there. Raiders, same. Most teams have chaplains. San Jose Sharks, NHL team. Then we have some of the major colleges. You know, I actually talked about faith with some of the, I go to the Newman Center at University of California, Berkeley. I know a couple of the football players there. And one kid in particular from Mississippi, it's been a while since I chatted with him. We had a very profound conversation just before he left to Christmas vacation. And the way that to see this young man on fire as a football player too. And we talked about how do you, as a Catholic first, you know, how are you a ball player on this team? How are you able to evangelize? And it was really neat to hear the young kids more than anything else, because that's where it starts. They've got, and you go to school like Cal Berkeley. That's a very liberal school, my friends. Very liberal school. We've got Stanford University. I've covered USC, University of Southern California. So when I was down in the Santa Maria area, so and of course UCLA. So we have quite a few schools. We got our Catholic schools. We got University of San Francisco, St. Mary's.
Did you cover Super Bowls?
I did cover a Super Bowl, yes. That was in San Diego, the Oakland Raiders versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And let me tell you, for Raider fans, they were unhappy campers. It was a bad game. That was very interesting. First time I ever got a police escort, by the way. I was with fellow reporters, and we got a police escort out to the stadium. That was pretty neat. But you know, it was a long day. People think, oh, I'm going to a game. I'm not just going to a game. I mean, and I shouldn't sit here and I'm blessed, but I got up real early in the morning. I didn't get out of there till midnight. I got to the stadium about 10 a.m. Or 9 a.m. in the morning, and because you're doing post-game interviews, and that really takes a large bulk of the time. But it was quite an experience, to be honest with you. I'm going to unglamorize it a little bit. They actually stuck a lot of us in a tent outside the stadium with the media. We had to watch it on big screens.
Oh
so
my God.
I didn't get to go into the game till like the late third quarter. But I sat in the upper deck. I said, hey, I'm at the Super Bowl. So you know, it's been a thrill, and it's pretty surreal, to be honest with you. You see all these guys from ESPN and all these other networks, like, hey, I know that guy. or I've seen you, and it was quite a wonderful experience.
Any particular coaches that impressed you that you've interviewed or spoken with that you think have it together or influencing young people in the right ways?
Oh gosh, well, there's a good Catholic guy who used to play with the Golden State Warriors, Gary St. Jean. Very nice man, very Catholic. You know, actually, Jim Harbaugh is kind of a new Catholic.
Yeah.
His wife, it was Catholic. I think he's converted over. Him and his wife just went to the Vatican and presented the. He's actually is willing to talk about his.
Where is he now?
He's at the University of Michigan.
Okay, he's the highest paid coach in the country.
That is correct. Besides some guy named Nick Saban.
No, Nick Saban's number 2.
Out in Alabama.
In terms of which is, it's hard to outdo number 1 in Alabama in any way, but he's doing that.
We are in Alabama, right?
You are in Alabama.
I know.
That's why everything's red behind you.
I noticed that last night. I'm holy Toledo. And then I realized you got another team here, Auburn. And I went, wait a second. It's not just all Alabama here.
No. And our Division II leagues and everything, athletics are
They're
just
great
fantastic
too.
here.
Right.
Women's sports and gymnastics for women and baseball is just fantastic.
You know, and let me make something. You know, some of the other coaches who I've interviewed, and I'll be real quick. Some of the smaller colleges is where I've really got to connect with the coaches. Sonoma State University, Pat Fuscaldo, the head basketball coach, good Italian. We talk about our faith all the time. Some of the other coaches too. So yeah, there are coaches that really want to. They don't get that talking with other faculty members. So when we have these engage in this type of dialogue, they love it, and I love it.
How nice to have a holy conversation in the midst of all the work.
Yeah.
Joy, let's take this email. Was there an email here? Or maybe I just missed that. Okay.
It says, do you find that it's easier for others to come up to you and talk to you about your faith because they have seen you on TV or other appearances? They already feel like they know you. And this is Rachel from Oregon.
Well, Rachel, good question. You know, I'm not going to, listen, I'm a pretty humble guy. It's not like people come up to me all the time. You know, I thought when I got into the business, you know, hey, when I make my $10 an hour, literally, I'm not kidding you, by the way, you know, I'd be able to meet gals and this kind of stuff, but that never happened. But I will say that I have met several people where we're able to talk about faith because they notice I'm Catholic. They notice that I will plant certain seeds, and I think that's my job as a Catholic Christian to plant those seeds when you meet people, especially those who don't know God. And I do that a lot. I mean, if there's one thing I know He's proud of me about, that's probably it.
Well, you've shared that, you know, sports have their place, but your love for the Lord God, sharing about Him, witnessing what He's done in your life is so profound. Has it always been that way? Has it deepened? What was the catalyst that worked this out in your life?
Well, my faith certainly is deepened in many ways. I've been a Catholic since the inception. My father really was the man who was my hero in life, and we're going to talk about him in a little bit. Lost him a couple of years ago. Very, very devout man. I mean, profound. And in fact, I actually introduced him to EWTN. He didn't know what EWTN was. So you would think, oh, father and son, we love sports, but we love God a heck of a lot more. And we used to say, no, we're not watching ESPN, we're watching EWTN.
There you go.
So yeah, it's so the faith has grown, and of course, you know, when we're going to talk about an experience that I had, a near-death experience, and so that really was the catalyst of change in my life.
Well, let's begin to go there. I mean, let's go there about this encounter with the Lord you had through this sudden suffering that came upon you. In 2006?
2006, yeah. I was a pretty young guy, at least I was like 41, and it's hard to, you know, I have heart disease in my family. Didn't really think at the time as a young guy that I would encounter an issue, and I did, unbeknownst to me. What happened was essentially I was trying to get myself in the shape of my life physically. I had a personal trainer, my second workout of the day, and I went to my gym because I was going to go watch the Cal USC football game. And while I was at the gym, I had no real signs, but I was on the treadmill, and all of a sudden I suddenly felt this whoa, 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 what's going on? And I tried to get off the treadmill, and I just absolutely collapsed. I mean, I just went flying off the treadmill, tried to get up, and was just down. I was literally down. And, you know, through the grace of God, there were 2 doctors in the gym that day. And one of them has become a good friend of mine. And they got over to me quickly, and they could see, whoops, what's going on? And they thought I was having a respiratory failure. And they called 911. And so they elevated my legs to get blood flow to the brain. And as that was going on, the fire department got to me pretty quickly. They were just down the street. And they said, that's the reason that you're here. They had to defibrillate. My heart was actually, it was what we call flatline. So I was actually clinically dead. And at least the heart rate was. Now the brain was still going. And they stuck 1 shock on my heart, and it got me right back. And through that, I came out of it. But, you know, they had to take me to the hospital right away. And my case is pretty interesting. They were supposed to take me to the local hospital right down the road. But as a result, real quickly, they actually diverted me to another hospital, my parents' hospital, in San Rafael. And I was supposed to, the hospital made a mistake that day because they were supposed to take me in. They had a nurse in training. So everything worked out, but they took me immediately to, they said, my case actually changed the emergency medical system in Marin County, California. So when you have a dire emergency, like, they now have to take you. I wasn't dying, that was a good thing, but I was in critical condition.
Let's pause right there, and we'll get back and fill that story out. Mike McDowd is here with us. Plenty more to come about his own life, about his family, and his persevering through great suffering to come out the other side, God working all things together for good. We'll be right back. Please don't go away.
Welcome back. Well, remember that we want you to be a part of our show. So if you have a question today for Mike, you could just send us an email, jimandjoy@EWTN.com, and hopefully we will use your question or your comment right here on the air. Well, Mike, before we went to break, you were telling us about the experience that you had on the treadmill, and you were rushed off to the hospital, and then what happened?
Yeah, and you know, I got to tell you guys, that's a good question. What happened was I got a lot of help from particularly the Larkspur, California Fire Department, which is in Marin County. And I know these guys are watching, by the way. And they wanted to present to you a couple of Firefighter T-shirts to both of you.
Touche.
So these are actual T-shirts that says City of Larkspur.
Thank God
and,
for firefighters who
these
save
are my
lives.
guys. And Tom Timmer and Jim Landis and Nick Calgary are the fire crew that saved me. I'm buddies with these guys. It's been 10 years since I celebrated my 10th year anniversary.
Right.
So, you know, I promised these guys that I was going to present you these T-shirts, and they're watching at the firehouse. So I'm hoping they're going to be new members to the Joy and Jim show.
There you go.
And,
that would be
City
perfect.
of Larkspur.
Yes,
right? Fire department. Wonderful.
And I got to mention, and I didn't add this, and it's very important. My chance of survival during this time was about 3 to 8%. 3 to maybe even 5%, they tell me. And the fire guys all tell me, we don't have this conversation. You're the lucky one. We get to, and for them, they don't get to meet guys like me.
Right.
They don't, normally people
survive.
don't ever come back. Well, even if they do survive, they don't even come back to the firehouse. And so it's been a real blessing to meet these guys, to really get to know these. And I've helped them out. So you know, you go through this stuff, and you're just, to be quite frank, I was just so blessed to be alive. I never felt sorry for myself. I was in the hospital for a couple of weeks. This was the week of Thanksgiving, 2006. And the day after Thanksgiving, I ended up having open heart surgery. that was a tough one. Came through it well. I mean, everything went perfect, thank God. And then they stuck a defibrillator in me, and that was another profound experience. They shocked me while I was awake, so that was kind of crazy stuff. But all in all, I survived. I was very weak. I had to essentially teach myself, I wouldn't say how to walk again, but in essence, yes. But I came through it, and it was a journey of great things, great things. In fact, one very beautiful story happened. There was a worker in the hospital, and she was a blood tech. She would come in the mornings. She was from Africa, and she would sing these beautiful Christian hymns to me. Okay?
Wow.
I mean, beautiful Christian hymns. And at the time,
you didn't think he died, did you?
No,
what is going on? This doesn't happen in
no.
the hospital.
You know, and so I just remember those just such profound stories. A lot of people ask you, what did you experience? What did you feel? One thing I'm going to tell you about, and I told the fire guys, I was just at the firehouse on Monday to get the T-shirts, and I said, you know, guys, what I actually experienced was I heard voices, smells. It was wild, and I think it was the fire guys trying to encourage, you know, come on, buddy, come on, come on, you know. I experienced the love of God when this happened in a deep way. People say, did you see Christ? Did your body, did you float over your body? All those things you hear about. No, I didn't, and I didn't go to heaven either. A little scary, because that makes me wonder, like, gosh, what exactly happened? What I can emphatically tell you is this. I had this beautiful, amazing peace, joy, love with God. And he literally, I listened to him, and I had a prayer with him. And one really deep, I don't know if the prayer phrase comes to mind. I said, okay, Father. I said, Father, I dwell upon whatever you want me to be. And those were really the words that I remember so clear.
And you don't know what that is, but I dwell upon whatever you want me to be.
Yes. In other words,
yeah, I got you.
You know, I want to do it God's way. You know, I'm not a perfect person. I'm not going to sit here, I'm holier than thou, or that I'm, you know, Mr. Pious. But boy, I'm working on it. And people, when you get a second chance at life, it's funny. You think when this stuff happens to you, that all of a sudden life just goes, oh, you're fixed, all's better. No, not the case. You know, your walk with God continues to grow, and you have to make some decisions on where you want it to end.
Right.
You know, and but the near-death experience, I went through a cardiac rehab program that was very profound. That's called the TAM program. Met some wonderful people, and other people. The first night that I was in this group, we all shared our stories. I was the youngest person there, and this lady comes in right next to me, and she sits next to me, a young gal. Turned out to be, she was a doctor, a Japanese gal, and she sits and tells her story. It's almost the exact story of mine. She was a doctor working out at the gym, high stress, high strung. She was walking down the stairs and she collapsed. And her personal trainer saw this happen, grabbed the defibrillator, and got her heart back. So I met some amazing people, amazing people. But, you know, when I was in the hospital at Marin General Hospital in California, in the Bay Area, it was a very interesting experience, because they said I was one of the younger people they've had that survived, and they kind of treated me like a little celebrity. It was kind of like, oh, you're the guy, and it was really, you know, it's and believe me, I did not feel like a celebrity at all. At the time, I was doing radio in San Francisco on KGO radio. So, you know, and ultimately, God put me at the right place at the right time. If I had been jogging or mountain biking, we would not be having this conversation.
Right, you would have been outside and no one could get to you, especially the first responders.
Yeah, no, I mean, the doctors, Dr. Bill Housley is one of my buddies, and he was getting ready to walk out of the gym, and there was a crowd around me, and he came back in. And like I said, these people were just my angels that day, and a real blessing. And so God is great. Life is wonderful, you know. But again, struggles continue. Life doesn't just. Sometimes you think you have these literally a near-death experience, and all of a sudden, oh, I see the light now.
Yeah.
That's not. I don't think that's the way it works. Maybe for some, not for me.
Yeah, but you do have a different appreciation. You get it that life is short, that anything could happen at any given moment, and your life could change in an instant. That's real.
That's real.
And when you get that, and you have that interior moment from that, you are forever changed.
Yes.
I mean, we all kind of walk around like, oh, I got this, and, you know, check in with God,
Right,
and I got it.
right.
But it is that fragile.
Right, right. And I think a lot of people, you know, some people don't understand why I still talk about it. Even, you know, friends, they go, well, you know, don't dwell upon it. It's not that you're dwelling upon
Right.
it, but, you know, God kept me around for a reason, for a purpose. And that is to share my story, one of the reasons. And, you know, really, that's why I'm here. I'm hoping that somehow somebody's hurting out there, and I want them to know, even though you go through a near-death experience, and we're going to talk about some other tough stuff I've been through, that, you know, through God, there's that word, and I always use it, there's hope. God is the hope. And I think that's just key right there.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about some of those other experiences for you. And you expressed your love for your dad. I know he's connected with this, your
Right.
mom.
Right.
So just share more with us about your family and how this kind of theme of suffering yet hope and victory plays itself out and comes into your own continued witness to the Lord.
Sure. Well, you know, I think you have to go. Let's start with my dear mom, Zoanne McDowd, a beautiful woman, and just a gorgeous, an amazing heart. I look at these flowers on your center. She was a florist. Oh man, we had centerpieces at our holiday time. I thought that was normal, you know, but no, it's not. I thought everybody had those. Glorious, wonderful mom, kind, sweet. She, at age 16, also had a near-death experience. I don't think really there's too many people documented, like family, mother, son, or related, that actually, there's not documentation on this. So Holy Saturday, 16 years old, she was with my brother and sister, and she collapsed while driving. Now, my poor mom did not do all the health things. She smoked, all those types. She was misdiagnosed back, that was 1981, I believe. And, you know, the fire department got to her and had to yank her out in the middle of the street and resuscitate her right there in front of all of her family and friends. We didn't know she was going to make it. On Easter Sunday, she pulled through. So that's miracle number one in our family. So I'm a big believer of miracles, and I think so is my family. So my mom I think was around for another 35 years. So that was a miracle. And we lost her in 2010. And just so much love. And she was always our mom, but she was also everybody else's mom, who they would all come to her for love and advice, and a wonderful woman. And she actually wasn't Catholic. Another real profound story is when they called us into the hospital, and they said, my dad and I, you guys better get over here. Don't think she's going to make it through the night. And my dad and I looked at each other. Dad, has she been baptized? I don't think so. Wow. So we had our good friend Deacon Jim Myers at St. Isabella's Church, one of my dad's best buddies, came to the hospital and baptized him, baptized my mother. Wow. Guess what? When I went to visit my mom, one of the nurses said, you know, honey, death is a tough thing. I'm so sorry. But it turned out God had a different plan. Yeah. She actually got stronger and better. And she was able to come home, and she came home for a few more months, then we lost her. But, you know, man does not know. Only God knows. Right. And that's another thing that I really want to stress to people. When you have a loved one in the hospital who is suffering, it is your job to protect them, to stand up for them. Because you have to be their advocate.
Absolutely.
And it's especially in our secular world. Right. The medical community talk about pro-life. Right. It's really. I tell you what, I got in a lot of fights with those you know, Harvard-trained doctors who thought they knew everything. And God bless them.
What were they suggesting?
Well, you know, ultimately, to be honest with you, a lot of them just gave up on my mom. you know, we'll just send her to a convalescent home, and there's an end of life room. We won't treat her, and she'll just pass. I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. We can't, you know, she won't suffer. She'll become dehydrated, and you know, you just, those are the types that I was shocking. It was shocking. Of course, you know, they take they took our family into a little room, and they throw the statue. And when, of course, we've never had this experience. Most people don't have this experience. So when you're it's you're blown away. Actually, you're not expecting this. Yeah. And the word hope does not exist. Yeah. And it's very difficult. Very difficult. So it's I meet many families. I always tell them, hey, listen, you have to stand up for your mother, your father, your brother, your sister. You know, with God, there's always a way. But the medical community, whether it's the culture of death, from children, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, to the elderly, you know, you both know the way our society is going, and it's critical that we are advocates for our loved ones. Yeah, and that we know as Catholics what is legitimate, what's not legitimate, what's excessively burdensome, what's not burdensome, and for the most part, you know, hydration, and a basic sustenance, you know, is not extraordinary unless it's at the very, very end of life and it's causing complications. And a lot of us don't know that. So some people have made decisions now that I'm sure that they may regret, and we don't want to condemn. We just bring it all to the Lord. But we need to understand when people are saying, well, you know, she won't have any fluids and she'll go pretty quick. Well, you know, you're talking about dehydration, you know, to death, and we need to be well equipped, because we don't, you know, it's such a, these people are professionals. They're there. They're telling you what's up. So,
and they speak with great authority. You think they know better, and they're coming in with words of compassion, like this is the compassionate thing to do.
Exactly.
And you're like, and you're weak and you're vulnerable, and you're like, I guess it is. Maybe they're right. And they're not.
But you know, you like you said, you have to be the advocate for the physical care and so on. But you are her advocate, and your dad. I mean, you thought immediately, hey, you know, is Mom baptized? You know, do we know that, or you know, where does she stand with her? She's a lovely person. You know, God can work out whatever He wants to work out. But hey, we want to make sure she's born again by water and the Spirit. Yes. You know, and you did that. And some people are just kind of, well, let's not worry about that. Well, you know, yeah, God, you know, works in a while, but here's something that's clear. You know, this is a clear calling. She's not resistant. You know, let's have this done, and that's beautiful. You get her back home. She's, you know, in a beautiful place in the faith. It's great. And you know, we brought her home so that she could go home. You know, and I think that was the gift of our family. It was. Touch base with me now about your father. Yes. Yeah. Begin that conversation. Well, my dad, James Patrick McDowd, a fine Irish guy from Portland, Oregon, University of Portland, Holy Cross Fathers. You know, great man of faith. The fact I'm wearing his University of Portland class ring, I do that to honor him. It's beautiful. And a guy that led my family, brother and sister, to Christ and to me every Sunday. When my dad retired, Mass every day, and really lived the faith. Eucharistic minister, beloved in our church, really beloved, and always encouraging me. You know, career-wise, things have been difficult for me at times, you know, because you go through ebbs and flows. My dad was always the encourager, the uplifter, never gave up on his son or his kids. And that's such a testament of love. And the way that he ultimately caregived for my mom, wow, beautiful. I mean, my father was literally picking up my mom to help her. My mom lost her leg too. So to see this man in action was just, it was glorious.
How many years were they married?
Oh gosh, over 45, almost 50, almost 50, 47 I believe. And so, you know, it happened back in 2014. I was at Mass on a Wednesday afternoon at the Carmelite Monastery in Centerville. Hello to the Carmelite nuns. They are beautiful women. Oh gosh, such holy ladies. And came back to my house, my parents' house, and it was a hot August night, August evening, I should say, and the door was open of our house, and I looked for my dad. I couldn't find him anywhere. House, backyard, garage, ultimately, I said, gosh, where is he? Is he on a walk? It's too hot for him to be on his nightly walk. And so I calmed down.
Yeah.
You know, but I inherently I knew something was wrong. And ultimately what took place was I did a little work, and I got up about, I can tell you the exact, I mean, I can tell you detail, blow by blow. I got up about 6:40, and I got up from my chair, and I stood up in my little home office, and I said, where's this guy? And I went to the front yard of our house, and I parked in front of the house, and the sun was coming down. It was so vibrant. It was like something and something came over me, and I don't know if it was God, and I was in some sort of, I felt like I was mesmerized for a few
in a
seconds.
Fixed state, you knew something was going down.
So I looked to my right after I got out of it, and I said, oh, no, 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 no. And I said those words out loud. He didn't. There's a juniper bush over by our house, the retaining wall to the next door neighbors.
Oh, sure.
And we were supposed to get rid of these juniper bushes. They're very difficult. They were so-called fire dangers. The city wanted homeowners to get rid of the bushes. Well, I thought my dad maybe hurt his leg, maybe a heat stroke. I don't know. Could be something with his heart. He had a heart issue too, but he was a healthy guy.
Yeah.
We played tennis together. He was in pretty good shape. And I got over there, and I looked at and I said, I was expecting to see him behind the bush. As I got over there, I saw the shears, and I just glanced to my left, and I said, oh, no, no, no. He had fallen in the next door neighbor's side yard, and unfortunately, he fell on his head. And it was tough stuff to see my hero, my saint of our family, so badly injured. And you know, of course I called 911 right away. The Marinwood Fire Department came. 2 of my buddies were on the fire call, and it was tough. I knew Dad was hurt badly.
Let's pause right there, and you can tell us the outcome of that. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. We'll finish the story with Mike and about his dad and about God's love all through all of these situations to make us great witnesses for him. We'll be right back. Please don't go away.
Important part of our EWTN family, and you can join us live right here on At Home and be a member of our studio audience. All you need to do is contact the EWTN Pilgrimage Department by emailing them pilgrimages@ewtn.com or give them a jingle at 205-271-2966. Come to Irondale, Alabama, and you can also make it part of your pilgrimage to go and visit the shrine up in Hansville and Mother's Resting Place. We would love to have you, so come to Irondale, Alabama.
Mike, we were sharing about your, the wonder of your father, your love for him, kind of the saint in your family, this tragic fall that he took, smashing his own skull. Tough place to, but continue to share with us.
Yeah. And by the way, thank you for having me here. This is great.
It's great.
First time to Irondale and Birmingham. What a great place.
We're blessed to have you.
And the EWTN is such a blessing to the entire world. So, yeah, talking about my dear dad, I've never really told this story in such elaborate details publicly. There's some very profound things happened. I remember my poor sister and I were at the hospital. And the funny thing is, I was in the ER when they had a whole team around my father. One doc comes out, I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, hey, doctor. He's like, are you the son? I said, yes, Dr. Aurora. And I knew the neurosurgeon. We had met at a restaurant prior on a whole different matter. He's all, Mike, this is your dad? I'm all, yeah, it's my dad. He's all, Mike, this is serious. I just don't know how bad it is. If we don't, operate on him, he'll pass. I said, okay, let's do whatever we can do. So they did. They did the surgery, and unfortunately, poor guy just had too much, damage. ultimately he came out, and I remember the doctor walking out of the operating room, hands in his white pocket, head down, just going like this. And I just remember just it was so surreal. It was like something you see in Hollywood. And just my poor sister and I and girlfriend at the time, we were just devastated.
Right.
And so ultimately they put my dad on life support. Of course, you know, you deal with he wasn't brain dead. My entire church of San Isabella's, there was vigils going on because my dad was so beloved there. Went to daily mass. You know, the Father Mark and some of the other fathers coming by and giving the last rites, blessings, and but the church was it was a shocking matter because in the state of California, if you have to have 2 doctors agree that you are you're either clinically alive or not.
Right.
Well, my dad still had brain activity, so he was technically alive, but ultimately we had to make a decision to take him off life support. And 2 profound stories happened.
We just have a few seconds left, so
Sure.
nail it.
Yeah. We prayed with my father quickly. My father's heart rate went from 63 to 133. As soon as we ended it as we all held hands, and Dad's heart rate went 133. As soon as we ended with the Our Father, right back down to 63. So that told me my dad was, I'm with you, I love you, I know you're with me, and Christ is here in the center of all of us, where 2 or more are gathered. So,
Well, we can go on and on, great stories. God is present with us, where 2 or 3 are gathered together, and that the Lord always prevails. It's been a delight to share with you. Welcome to EWTN, and hopefully we can have you back on again.
I'd love to, and I hope that we can bring some hope to some people who are hurting.
Hope we brought hope to you here today. God works all things together for good. Look to Him. God bless you and all of your loved ones. Keep it on EWTN. Bye now.